to another segment of the Princess K Talk Show, which talks about relationships and all kinds of things to do with life and just how to deal with each other as human beings. On this segment, I'll be talking about 5 points on how to maintain a healthy home for married people. So I'm gonna try and not to skip or go over 6 minutes, but I do apologize. I'll try and expand a little bit more just so you can understand where I'm driving at. So the first point I'm gonna talk about is there is no perfect marriage, right? We all know that. And there is no ready-made marriage. Marriage is hard work, so you have to volunteer yourself to work on it on a daily basis. Just like you pour into a flower, you pour water into a flower to water it daily. It's the same thing as marriage. You need to water it daily and work on it daily. Marriage is like a car that needs a proper maintenance and proper service. And if you don't service your car, do MOT, fuel up your car, make sure it's all right, then it breaks down, exposing the owner to dangers, and that usually becomes, you become careless. So it's the same thing as marriage. We become careless, and we don't maintain it, we don't do MOT and all those kind of things, so it makes the marriage to break down, and at the end of the day it leads to divorce. God can't give you this is the second point I'm heading to. God can't give you a complete person that you desire. He gives you the person in the form of raw materials in order for you to mold the person that you desire from the person He's giving you, right? So, and this can only be through prayer, love, and patience. You need to be consistent with prayer, consistent with patience. Patience is not easy. In anything, patience is it's the hardest thing God has commanded us to have. It's hard, right? So patience is not something, because you can be patient and be waiting for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's not easy. Because on a daily basis, you have to remind yourself that God is going to do what I ask Him to do. He says what He does, and He does what He says, and He will bring His promise to pass. But it's not always easy. As human beings, it's not always easy to be patient. Getting married, this is the third point. Getting married is a huge risk, right? Because you can't predict what's going to happen in the future. Situations may change, so you need to leave room for adjustments. Both of you need to leave room for adjustments. Husband can lose his good job, and you may have challenges with having a baby and starting a family. All these require, right? All these require prayerfulness, otherwise you might end up divorcing, because tests can tear couples apart. Some tests, if you go through the tests with God, it can definitely make your relationship stronger. But some tests, if you don't involve God in it, it can tear you both apart. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. He'll bring all sorts of temptations, all sorts of things, from left, right, center, and backwards, just in order to tear you apart, because the enemy doesn't want us to be happy, and he doesn't want us to be with somebody that is, that makes us happy. And when two becomes one, it's more powerful. When you guys pray together, it's powerful. So he doesn't like unity. So the fourth point is marriage is not a contract, right? It's permanent. It needs total commitment. Love is the glue that sticks the couple together, and divorce starts in the mind, and the devil feeds the mind. Never entertain the thoughts of getting a divorce, and never threaten your spouse that you're going to divorce them. You have to fight and choose to remain married, because there's a lot of divorces. The divorce rate is high, and some of them is because they marry because they're not in love. They marry for all kinds of reasons, you know. I'll come back to that just in like a minute. But you have to fight for it. You have to pray. This is where prayer comes in again. And you know, when you choose the right partner and the right spouse that is meant for you, then it may not be as smooth as butter, but it will be easier than marrying somebody that isn't meant for you and then you keep hitting the brick wall. So, you know, you pray together. Consistentness and perseverance is going to help in all of this. So the last point is, every marriage has a price to pay. Marriage is like a bank account, right? The money, it is the money you deposit in the bank account that you withdraw from it. If you don't deposit love, peace, and care into your marriage, you can't be a candidate of a peaceful, blissful marriage. Excuse me, because it will break down. So you need to water it, pour into it, walk on your marriage. You know, trust is so easily broken that once you've broken it, it's hard to repair. It takes years, and I mean years, to repair trust. That's why you have to be careful. Having someone's trust, not just in a marriage, just in friendship alone, having someone's trust is so important, and it's so vital that if you betray that trust, you know, it can go to extent where the woman or the man might not even trust anybody else because of you. That's how damaging betrayal of trust can do to a person. And I'm sure we've all been through that. So, with that being said, I am going to end this segment. But before I go, I want to tell you that next week I will be talking about the reasons why people get married. It's not always for love. I can say 80% of people are married, but not because of love. They are married because of something else. But I will discuss it next week on my show. So please come back and stay tuned and like my videos, please. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thank you ever so much for listening. Do have a wonderful day.